Welcome back to another episode of the Four Train Savages podcast. Today is September 18th, Thursday. The Yankees just finished up a 3-game series in Minnesota against the Minnesota Twins. Took 2 out of 3 there. And then also, Tyler, before we started recording, or before we recorded this episode, they also took 2 out of 3 at Fenway Park. I did not think that they were capable of doing that, say, even just a couple of weeks ago. But
Yeah.
I got to give this team credit where credit is due, and they're playing. Oh, hot, 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 hot,
Haven't
hot.
heard that one in a minute.
They're hot. So
Yeah.
this Yankees team is cruising right now in the standings. They are 4 behind the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East. So looks as though Toronto's really taking care of business at this moment in time, but we know that we still have a weekend this weekend and then another full week of baseball. 2 series against Baltimore Orioles this weekend at Baltimore, next weekend back at Yankee Stadium. They finish off there, but we're two games up for
Yep.
in that first wild card spot. Seattle is right now who the Yankees would be playing, but they are also tied with the Boston Red Sox. So it goes Yankees, Mariners, Red Sox, but it's funny how the Mariners and Astros are sort of going back and forth for who wants to win that division. So that's going to
And
be
they're
an
going to go
interest-
back and forth the whole
and that's
time.
going to be a very interesting storyline. And I think we can both agree. And I think most Yankee fans, although if you were to catch a year to play Houston, it would probably be this year. But I think we could both agree that we'd rather play Seattle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want those words biting me in the ass, but
Well, Seattle's not a great road team at all either. So I'm
if
with that.
Yankees have to secure this home field at least for the wild card. We know other circumstances if they match up later in other rounds, but you got to play who's there. So I got to say it. Credit to this team, man. They
Let's
did what they were asked to
go.
do,
Never thought that was going to
and
happen.
and I didn't think that they would do what they did at Fenway, but they did. And shout out to the Yankees. Tyler, how we doing?
Rob, I'm good. As a Yankee fan, I'm excited. I'm ready to. I mean, I feel like I'm already thrusted in playoff baseball because every game feels like playoffs a little bit right now.
Mhm.
You remember how, every year, Rob, we kind of go into the playoffs and we're like, hey, maybe these wild card teams that don't get a break, like maybe they don't need a break. Maybe it's better they don't get a break and you just kind of rolling hot. I'm kind of excited to see if this Yankees team can do that.
Mhm.
I'm glad they're checking some boxes for you. I know, this 12-game stretch, specifically Boston, was a lot for some people. And yeah, I'm pumped, dude. They're winning series. You got what do we have? 10 games left.
Mhm.
3 series against two against the Orioles, 1 against the White Sox. So I'm ready to roll. I think a lot about this team that we've talked about last couple months remains true. A couple very good starting pitchers, very good offense, good closer, bullpen, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So I'm excited though. It's a fun time.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about these series very quickly, or this Minnesota series,
Mhm.
and they did take 2 out of 3 in Fenway Park. What we saw from this team, it was another good outing by Max Fried, who has been rolling, and I have said that the
I think he's
Yankees
back.
have found their just took a bit of a rough stretch,
Just with
but
the rest of the team.
they have had themselves an ace, another ace
Mhm.
to add into the mix, and that's a big
Yeah.
thing for this team to have. But Luis Gil pitched very solid on that opening Friday night. Aaron Judge with a couple home runs in this Boston series, hit off Crochet on Sunday. They almost made the comeback. Will Warren, not the best start there. Tried to make a comeback. We saw 3 straight starts of Jose Caballero, which we will also talk about with this Anthony
Mhm.
Volpe shortstop situation. But they took 2 out of 3. We both were sort of on the same page. I don't know if you made this exact point, but like Crochet, I think you said Crochet on Sunday. Let's take care of business. 2 out of 3, and then
Yes.
roll the dice. And that's exactly what they did, and you have to be happy with that. And then
And
heading
honestly,
into
if Will Warren doesn't pitch like shit, you probably you get a chance of winning that game, honestly.
very fair point. And so it went into Monday. The Yankees had a terrible game on offensively. Uh, Carlos Rodon pitched okay in this one. He
Bad
went
travel.
6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. I was listening a little bit to the pregame on my way home from work, and Susan was already talking about them getting in late late
Hmm.
night for them. And I know that's a factor, but a lot of teams also deal with that. So I just laugh when people say it. But clearly, it can be a part of the mix. But they lost 7-0. They got their ass kicked. Luke Weaver really bad in this one. Only went a third of an inning, 5 earned runs, 3 hits,
Weaver's
two
low,
walks.
getting low on the tree, man.
And it's yes, that is a point of concern, I would say. So then
Also,
also
Simeon Woods Richardson looked like a absolute Cy Young winner against us.
he pitched
11
extremely
Ks.
well. Then game two, the Yankees got out ahead very early. In this one, Bellinger with a single to start, Stanton with a sacrifice fly. Yankees go up 2-0. Austin Wells with a little double power. We've made the jokes that it seems as though Austin Wells only hits doubles or home runs, but I think Austin
Hmm.
Wells has really picked up very nicely. And
Yeah, he
then
settled in.
also Trent Grisham with a home run in the top of the second. That makes it 5-1. Then Stanton with a single to get in. Aaron Judge makes it 6-1. Grisham sack fly in the top of the third. Another sack fly from Aaron Judge. Ben Rice with a nice double to make it 9-1. And then Anthony Volpe also too, Tyler, in this game was actually pretty
Two
good.
hits.
And I
Hmm.
said, oh, funny how when you give a player rest, they can actually play quite well. And
Yeah.
Anthony Volpe had himself a pretty solid night. I think he went about 2 for 3, 2 for 4. Yeah, 2 for 4. With also had a double in this one, but his single drove in Jazz Chisholm to make it 10-1. But then you didn't really feel so confident after seeing the Twins march back in the bottom of the fifth with make it 10-4 off Schlitter. Also in the bottom of the sixth, then made it 10-8. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Larnack hit a home run, but luckily Bednar was able to close this one out. So good offense to start, and they got that big lead. But then, as we've talked about, this bullpen makes you sweat. So
Yeah. I mean, we're just gonna. I think we're at the point, Rob, where we're just gonna have to hope they get hot,
yeah,
right? Like, is there anything else you can really do in terms of the bullpen? I mean, Devin has kind of looked better in some higher leverage situations, but do you trust him? Like, no.
nah,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't. I'm not
like,
there.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't like freak out when Weaver comes in, but I don't have all the
You
faith in the
don't have the
world in
same.
him.
You don't. This year, you do
Not
not have the.
24 Weave.
No, yeah. This year, you
Yep.
do not have the same level of confidence in Luke Weaver, and that's disappointing. And we know that he struggled with injuries for a bit. I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks, and then he was
Yep.
actually able to come back sooner than we expected. But what you hope with Luke Weaver is even in these periods where he's really struggled, is somehow he does turn it on when the October lights come on. But it's hard to exactly bank on that, but you just have to hope because he is such an emotional
Hmm.
pitcher. He also had a big out in Boston. He had a really
Yep.
good outing there. So you
That's
got to
that's the
really just
counterpart.
you really just got to hope that you get him on a good time and that
Same
you
with
hope.
Fernando Cruz, I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
he's had his big blow-ups, but he's also absolutely disgusting when he's on.
Mhm.
And really, if Doval can just like not be bad, that's massive. But don't have much faith in him either. But be honest, Rob, I stopped watching this game when it was 10-4 because I
You got
was
sleepy.
exhausted
You
on
got
Tuesday,
sleepy.
man. I was fighting the sleep on the couch and I look at my dog, I say, why am I fighting the sleep right now? It's 10-1, DJ. And he goes, go to bed, Tyler. So I turned over on the couch and I wake up and it's 10-9 and we won, thank God. But I missed.
I watched the whole thing and it was, yeah, you're saying, oh boy. I also think we've now seen also that Cam Schlittler I don't want to say that he's come back down to earth at any means, but you've seen now I think it's a conversation for after we recap these games, but from this, it's now that you see each of these players to pick out for that third starter sort of have some warts on their resume a little bit now, or that
Hmm.
they've had some back and forth of really good starts. Ooh, don't really like that. Like this one, don't like that. So, and Boone, Meredith talked with Boone in the dugout yesterday. I saw in the Yes pregame, or I think it was the Prime Video pregame, and they were saying or they were just asking him, how do you decide? Are these last 2 weeks going to be a big factor? And he said it will be considered in the mix, and it will be a factor. I don't know how big it will be, but I I'm I'm leaning more towards that they'll go with Luis Heel. One,
Hmm.
because of the experience, and two, he has looked a lot better in these last outings, especially in September. And I do think that they may be very attracted to the fact that Schlittler with the with just his gun of an arm out of the
Translates to the
bullpen.
pen, man. Yeah.
That may be something that they recognize. And then also Will Warren has just had so, especially in a wild card series, of course, because it's only 3 games, that they may give Luis Gil, who's been more tenured, has pitched more games, has been around longer. And then also, I would say I between the three of them, I would say my last one may be Will Warren. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know if that's crazy to say because we've seen him have more bad outings than the other guys. I don't know if I'm off base on that. That's just my impression. I don't know if you would agree with that or if you would say, I know you were on the Schlittler bandwagon,
Yep.
but how would you prioritize those three guys?
I think we're basically in lockstep now. I mean, I was big on, I'm still very big on Cam Schlittler. Like, I think I would honestly want him starting your fourth game over Will Warren in a long series if you
Uh-huh.
needed to. Um, but I totally agree with you at this point that their their three pitcher is going to be Luis Gil. Like, there's not even really doubt in my mind there.
Hmm.
Um, because he's looked better and better after every start. He goes
Yeah.
deeper into each game, it seems like. And I really wasn't expecting Luis to get to that point this quick. I mean, he's only had how many games he started? He started 9 games, 46 innings pitched, and he's looked really good, Rob. And like you
He's
said,
progressing with each outing.
exactly, yeah. And um, I think Schlitter's stuff translates to the pen the easiest.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm with you there. I mean, it really goes Fried, Rodon. Luis Gil has been there, done that in the playoffs, so I think everyone leans him there. And then Schlitter, Warren, given the matchup, but I don't know, man. Will Warren's at the point where kind of Clark Schmidt esque, where like he's been given a lot of tests and they haven't all worked out
Yeah.
necessarily.
So for game three, although Luis Gil had that better outing on Friday night, this past Friday night against Boston, he did struggle a little bit. 4 2/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 total runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Fernando Cruz, a better outing for him, inning and a third with scoreless ball, no strikeouts. But it goes back to just in that conversation that they all have instances, and I think they're somewhat in the same pool of Warren, Luis Gil, Cam Schlittler,
Yeah,
that they're closer than not. Like the difference between, it's not like you're looking at a difference amongst those three is sort of like Fried and Rodon are clearly head and shoulders there, but those other three are very close. So it makes it a challenging decision and one that Boone and his staff is going to have to make. So we'll see. He Luis Gil labored a little bit in this one.
yeah,
And the way that the Yankees got scoring, Bellinger with a single to start off to score Aaron Judge. Also, the Twins went up 2-1 thanks to a Royce Lewis single, as well as Lee scoring on a pass ball from Ben Rice. So that was one defensive thing. Trent Grisham, 2 home runs in this game. Also notable, Jason Dominguez with a double. So Jason, I think one interesting conversation that we haven't talked about so much, but is that Jason Dominguez, in the limited times that he's played, like I have heard people say that, oh, Jason Dominguez has been a bit of a disappointment. You can't make that
I don't think
evaluation.
he's been a disappointment.
I've seen it online and I've seen it on Twitter, and I may have some family friends that will say, Jason Dominguez, he hasn't gotten, and rightfully so because Trent Grisham has been so good. But for me, in a rookie year, I've been pleased with what Jason Dominguez has done, even though I think he lacks defensively. But when he has been in these times that he's played and the spots that he gets the starts, I think he has made an impact where he can. And I'm going to give him credit for that. And then clearly, I don't know if Trent Grisham is coming back because he's going to make himself a lot of money, and I don't know if the Yankees are going to pay him. And then you slide Jason Dominguez back in next year. But in terms of 2025, I think Jason Dominguez has been pretty good. So
No, I agree. I mean, the guy is 22. He played virtually his first, full season, if you will, 118 games, and he hit well. We have seen time and time again a number of outfielders come in here and just simply not be able to play left field. We're judging them on, the hardest defensive position to play, I guess, in the outfield in Yankee Stadium. So again, 22. Comes in, hits 258, 333, 391. We know there's more pop in there. He's kind of a lunatic on the bases. I'm fine with Jason's first little campaign here.
yeah. So the rest of the game, we saw two Trent Grisham home runs, also a Bellinger home run in the top of the ninth. Sort of looked like the Twins would make a somewhat of a comeback in the bottom of the fifth to cut it to 7-5, but luckily Bellinger put that out of reach, as well as Ryan McMahon, who has been here and there. He struggles offensively when it comes down to it, but he has in
Hmm.
these recent weeks given you
And
a
the
little
glove
bit,
looks good.
given you a little bit. But again, we don't exactly prioritize him as a offensive talent. So, but whatever he can give you is what we're looking for. So in this one, they win 10-5. Also, Devin Williams looked good again. Three strikeouts. Luke Weaver better in this one, goes at full inning, and then Duvall with two strikeouts to close it out in the ninth inning. So the only real struggle here was from Luis Heel.
Hmm.
And so Yankees come away with a 2 out of 3 win after the really disappointing game one. I know game two also people will make the argument of how the bullpen looked, but hey, they squeaked away with a win. But we're not gonna completely ignore it because I mean we've talked about it at nauseum that their bullpen is not good. So
And to
we
be
we know what it
honest,
is.
Rob, a lot of these good teams, like their bullpen doesn't look great. The
Yeah.
Dodgers have had a terrible bullpen all year. We all know what's going on with the Mets, the Yankees. I mean, the Sox have Whitlock and Chapman, which have been good for them. But there are, I think every team is flawed.
But Aroldis Chapman
Um,
doesn't know where he's throwing the ball. He hasn't
yeah,
thrown
right.
to
He's
it.
never thought about that.
That was a crazy story. That I don't believe that for a
I don't
second.
believe it either, and I love I love that he got called out for it, and then it became a thing.
Okay, so let's quickly before we do some other topics to end the pod. Let's talk about our savages of the series. Trent Grisham, man.
Mhm.
Trent Grisham is good. I I talked about it a lot that I mean we've both said how he's going to get paid a lot of money. Could he get in do you think he could get in like the five for 100 million bandwagon?
It'll be
Something.
close. I will say, when the Yankees give him the qualifying offer, it's going to tank his market a little bit because you lose a draft pick if you sign someone that has a qualifying offer attached to him. So I think he can, if there's a team that thinks they can build a team around Trent, or he can be like a three hitter in their lineup,
The
maybe.
thing
Like I
that's
can see the
gonna
Giants doing some shit like that, you know?
yeah, the thing that's gonna hold that back is just the rest of his body of work has not been close to what we're seeing
Yeah.
this year.
But
And
he is
he
like
is
29.
28,
That's the thing, or
and
28.
that
He's our age.
so it's really a gamble for a general manager, but
Hmm.
I, he's gonna get paid something.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I
break
could
off some bread somewhere.
I
So
could see him getting, you know, 3 for 70, 3 for 60,
mhm,
65, 4 for 80,
yeah.
something like that. Maybe I think 100 might be a little bit, but
Mhm.
God, because what's Cody gonna get if
But
Trent's getting?
here's what I think though. This is a conversation for another day, and this is an
Trent also
off-season
only kind of
conversation.
hits homers, by the way.
But if it,
Nine doubles
I've
on the
been
year.
saying that
Nine
all the
doubles.
time. But
But he gets on base. He
when
does
it
walk.
when people will debate, oh, Bellinger's going to demand a lot of money, but I think that the payoff there with Bellinger and the even with his seasons that have been questionable or that
No,
he's
no,
been
Belly is
disappointing.
that dude.
I like the body of work and Bellinger, and I think I'd
Hmm.
rather overpay for that as opposed to the plan B option. I guess we're going back into plan Bs and stuff that of Trent Grisham and his body of work is I just feel a little bit more confidence in the Yankees spending more money to try and keep Bellinger here. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Let's give Trent Grisham his flowers. So for the season now, he has 33 home runs, 71 RBIs, an 825 OPS, a 348 on base percentage. And I mean, you mentioned it. It seems like he hits home runs just all the time. And he's
Hmm.
also doing it in big positions where the Yankees need to win. And we've seen now on numerous occasions that he does it in clutch positions. And we hope that that translates to October.
The
And
clutch
also,
numbers are
too,
crazy, bro,
his clutch numbers are
compared to the
crazy,
league.
and I think it's awesome too that you have him in the leadoff spot
Hmm.
where in past seasons we've been saying where is where is our leadoff hitter, where's our
Yep.
leadoff hitter, but Trent has just been so good, And I'll say it again, he's going to get paid this offseason, and rightfully so. So Trent's going to be my savage of the series.
Yeah, man. I love Trent. You gotta love him too. I love that the nickname they tried to give him didn't stick. Swaggy T.
Isn't it
He's the big sleep, maybe
the
baby.
big
That's what he
sleep?
is.
Yeah.
The big sleep. Um, I'm gonna give it to Judge, man. I think a lot of people could get this in this series. You could give it to a pitcher. You could give it to Belly. You could give it to Ben Rice. I think if you wanted to too. Goldie had a good series, but I said right before the Boston series, Rob. I said one of the big guys has to get hot and kind of take over. I think Judge. I'm almost tying this back to the Boston series. Um, Judge has been on a tear, man. He's kind of went on one of his homer explosion modes. In this series, he had 4 hits, 4 runs scored, 3 walks, only 1 ribby, but he looks good, and I'm very excited to see Judge hopefully remain hot into the postseason without much of a break. I
Mhm.
may add, right? You're virtually going from playing regular season games to playing the wild card. So if there is a time, if you're one of those people that talks about, Judge's postseason struggles, this is kind of what you want. Rolling into October.
What's also been nice is that in the last 15 games for Stanton, he's not looked as good. I mean, he has a 157 average, a 333 slug in his last 15 games. So Stanton has taken a bit of a backseat. I would expect that just
Yep.
with more rhythm and more at bats and just getting back into the swing of things and natural baseball stuff, that he will be fine. But it's good that now Stanton has taken a bit of a backseat that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
time for Judge to step up. And we'll see. A lot of people, I mean, MLB Network is out here spreading propaganda for Cal Raleigh to win the
Still, it's
MVP.
just not even close,
I
dude.
totally respect the fact that they're gonna say like the catcher and all that. I understand that argument, but nothing was funnier than the tweet that I sent out. I got to give this guy credit. He's on Twitter. He's a good follow. It's not Gady. My favorite quote about the MVP race
Oh, I
continues to
know what you're gonna
be,
say.
if you drop Cal Raleigh's
Yeah,
OPS by 180 points, he'd be average. If you dropped Aaron Judge's OPS by 180 points, he'd be Cal Raleigh. That's all you got
yep,
to remember. That's all you got to
exactly.
remember. And it's true. So,
It's not even close, Rob. I really don't even want to entertain it,
but see,
honestly.
the thing that will win it and the thing that would win it for Cal Raleigh is the home runs. And
It's just a dumb way of
and
analyzing
also
something.
it is. But I also want to give
Judge
credit
is
to this
better in
tweet too.
every category,
I want to
not
give
named
this
home
want to
runs.
give because people are saying, oh, he's doing stuff that Mickey Mantle hasn't, or since Mickey Mantle, because of the switch hitter, he's broke the record
Yeah.
for most home runs by a switch hitter. And Cal, like Mickey Mantle's season where he hit 54 home runs, mind you, Mickey Mantle had a 1.135 OPS with a 206 OPS plus.
Oh,
Cal
it sounds like
Raleigh's,
Judge.
yeah, and then Cal Raleigh's is a 954 OPS with a 165 OPS plus. It's exactly the same thing. So I listen, the home runs are a big thing too, but then it comes I suppose it's an argument
They're
of
not
new age
that big.
baseball that Judge is getting on base more. Judges, I mean, also too, I think I don't know if I read this correctly, but
It's not close.
If Cal Raleigh wins the MVP, it'll be the first time an MVP, for those who love batting average, it'll be the first time that a player has a batting average below 250 since like 1950 that has won the MVP. So for those that really enjoy that really enjoy batting average, that's something too that you're looking at. So I don't know, man. You look at the totality of what Judge is doing, and you can't ignore that. Also, he has a 8.4 WAR to Cal Raleigh 6.5.
Not close, dude. It's really not close. And then you saw the argument on the fan yesterday. Someone said, whoa, Cal's leading, his team's leading the division. I'm like, okay, well, the Yankees have won more games than the
No, I
Mariners,
know. Yeah,
and the Yankees will
I
play in a
saw
harder
that.
division than the Mariners. Just dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really not even gonna entertain it. It's not close, Rob.
Let's do our Savage Slump Watch.
They stink.
I'm going to go with Luke Weaver. Even though he had the better night on yesterday, and he stepped up and he had a good outing of cleanless, scoreless ball. His Monday night was not good. Only won a third of an inning, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and we talked about it prior that if we thought of him in the setup man role, and everyone really does like Luke Weaver from what he did in 2024. But this year is going to be a different Luke Weaver, or at least heading into the playoffs, we're thinking a little bit differently about Luke Weaver. But the hope is, even with his struggles and how he had the injury over the summer and now him getting back into the groove or getting back into the swing of things, we'd hope that with these struggles, the October moments and the big high value moments, he can flip a switch. We're hoping that's what can happen. So that's one thing to watch with Luke Weaver, and just it goes for a lot of guys in the bullpen, frankly. So,
Yeah,
but
the
Luke
whole
Weaver is going
bullpen,
to
it
be my
feels
savage
like.
slump watch. Who would you go with?
That is a very fair take, Rob. I'm gonna go with Yarby. Kind of
Yeah,
the next guy out of the pen
we were just
that can
praising
get,
him last week.
yeah, they can get this award. 0.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs. It's not good, brother. Um, so yeah, exactly what you're saying. We were kind of singing his praise last week, like, hey, he could be, a bulk guy, he can be a swingman and come in for 2 innings. Um, I need something firm and solidified out of you, Yarby. I don't want this. So
Mm-hmm.
you got 10 more games to kind of see who's hot. But
Uh-huh.
go CRB.
All right, so we'll end with this. I talked about at the top of the pod about the official move somewhat of this last weekend,
Of
that
Volpe.
of Volpe and how Jose Caballero. Every game in Fenway, Jose Caballero was playing. And so that's telling. Now that Jose Caballero is getting clear preference and getting more playing time that we were asking for weeks now, we're glad that they came to the realization it only took them till September to do so.
Yeah.
But Aaron Boone, when talking about Volpe, I think it was a couple days ago, when talking about him in the Minnesota series, he said that he was available during that series. We know that he played on, I think it was Tuesday. But going forward for the Yankees, Aaron Boone has made it clear that it's an everyday decision of whether or not they're going to have Volpe play or Jose Caballero. So right now, Jose Caballero has been getting more playing time, and I think that's the way that it should stay. And it's good that
Mm-hmm.
Volpe the other night had a couple hits, went 2 for 4, and that's honestly what we've been asking for. That he
Yeah.
has a little
Your
bit.
job's not guaranteed.
His job's not guaranteed. You have more competition, and it's just because the Yankees have been giving him so much leeway for now 3 years,
Treat him
and
like Jason.
treat him like Jason. Treat him like these other players. No difference. When Austin Wells was struggling, it's like, okay, we're going to give Ben
Lost a
Rice
bunch of
more
playing
time.
time. Yeah.
Lost playing time, and they weren't doing that with Volpe. But already this early on, we've seen how it can benefit him just to say, okay, for one, he was playing almost every day. And to not give a player rest at all, I know he's young. I know he's 22, 23, but to not give him any rest and just like a mental reset day was crazy.
That was crazy.
And now I know that they didn't have necessarily a player such as Jose Caballero, and you were looking at Oswald Peraza, or you were looking at some makeshift shortstops out of or maybe Andrew Velasquez, or any of these players that really weren't giving you a lot of meat on the bone. But now, okay, we're here now, and that's how it should be treated. That it's I don't I don't want to say it's preference either way. I would want Jose Caballero to be the starting shortstop in a wild card game one and really for the rest of the series. But it should be treated as you have to earn your spot. When you get your playing time, you take advantage of it. And you said it with Jason Dominguez. I said a little earlier, when he's had the spots, he has made an offensive impact. And that's just what you're
Mm-hmm.
asking for Volpe to say. Nah, dude, you're not guaranteed the spot. You got to earn it, man. Because he was gifted the spot. He really
Yep.
was.
For years.
Yeah.
4 years. Listen, Rob, the shortstop position is not Anthony Volpe's. Um, Very clear. He has lost his job. Um, this is a platoon of, two right-handers that are going to platoon for the most part. You just break down the time Cabby's been on the Yanks and what Volpe's done this year. In 34 games, Caballero has a 1.1 WAR. In 143 games with the Yankees, Anthony Volpe is a 1.5. Right, it's already doing much more in a shorter amount of time. 820 OPS with the Yanks to Volpe's 667. Now, Cabby didn't have a great night the other night defensively or on the bases. I might have had a base running error. I don't remember. But I think we're kind of willing to work with some of that when the totality of it seems to be there in terms of defense getting on the bases, being a pest on the bases. So I'm all in for Cabby to play more. Um,
Hit it out of the monster the other night.
yeah, absolutely crushed the ball. And I really think with McMahon at third kind of makes the shortstop position a little easier for who's there. And it really should just be Cabby, man. I mean, I watch him like throw someone out from short with a, and his arm looked pretty stupid. And I went, yeah, Volpe just doesn't do that, you know?
He doesn't have a good arm.
So yeah,
He's never had a good arm.
I think Volpe's totally lost his job. I think it's guaranteed he's going to start next year. So I kind of think we're in a spring training period essentially for the shortstop position. Like whoever's hot is going to play.
Spring
That's what it
training
feels
in
like.
September.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, it's something to keep tabs on, but very good job by the Yankees in this last 2 weeks or 3 weeks to handle the 12-game stretch. And now they won against Minnesota after the ugly Monday. And now you play Baltimore, who you shouldn't take for granted, but it is a team that's already eliminated from the playoffs, and they're going to try and play spoiler in the standings because they don't like the Yankees. We know that team doesn't like the Yankees, so
and they've been playing good for a long time, honestly.
And they're capable to win series. So you play 4 this weekend. I know, oddly enough, they're on Fox primetime tonight.
Yeah, so weird.
They must have thought the
Orioles were going to be good. Yeah.
So yeah, the Yankees got to handle their business, and like right now with this standings, it's going to. I think we know that these are going to be the playoff teams. I know we were joking that could Cleveland? It'd be funny if Cleveland entered the mix and took Boston out. Just my gut right now. I mean, they're 2.5 behind Boston. I just think it's going to be the Yankees. It's going to be the Yankees, Seattle, Boston, and then maybe switch Seattle with Houston, and that's what we're looking at. I just think that these teams are now in a pressurized zone and like they're gearing up, and I think that that's what we're going to have. My preference right now on September 18th is that I think it's the same with you, that I would like to play Seattle. I think just having a brain and the best road forward, I think playing one of those teams. I would prefer not to have to play Crochet in a game 1 because I think that sets you off on a potentially bad note. I know that the Yankees
could potentially see him twice.
Exactly.
You know?
So
I'm all set on that.
That's my mindset.
And also the Red Sox have a ton of righties, and our 2 best pitchers are lefties. Like they crush lefties.
Yeah. So that's the matchup game. That's the matchup game that fans are going to think of, and that I mean, probably the Yankees themselves are thinking too.
Yeah, I think the playoff teams are set. It just depends where everyone ends up. I'll end it with this, Rob, just to let you know. The Jays are in. Listen, feel free to kill me after. They're frauds, Rob. I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, they're a 50-25 team when they play in the country of Canada, and they're 1 game over 500 in the States. So,
all right.
They just lost Springer, and Bichette's been gone.
I think that's a significant thing, that Bichette.
Even if they play in the playoffs, they're done. They're not doing nothing.
All right.
Nothing. Ernie Clement, get out of here.
All right, man. I hope we don't have to eat our words there, but we'll see.
I want to play him.
So Yankees got a 4-game set against Baltimore this weekend. Then they play Chicago back at the stadium, as well as then Baltimore again. And we'll try and record sometime next week. And then once that playoff matchup is set, hopefully that the Yankees get what we're looking for. They may be playing Boston. We'll see if they play Seattle. We'll see if they play Houston. So we'll record one more time during the week next week. And then, Tyler, it's playoff preview mode, baby.
Let's go, dude.
Mode. So
let's go.
I will try, and I think I'm gonna try and hit the wild card game potentially if the Yankees have home field. So
yeah,
if you guys are
gearing
up,
of the days.
Yankee Stadium in October is just different. It's an addicting
game 1. Probably
it's an addicting thing. So thank you guys all for listening to episode number 221. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel if you're watching there. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And go ahead over to our social medias. Follow us on Twitter or X, Instagram, TikTok, and check out all of our clips there. Really appreciate everyone for listening. Let's go Yankees. Win these next series. Secure your playoff spot. Get this done, and let's head into October feeling good. We'll catch you next time. Peace.